today's video I'm going to show you Zorin. So I'm going to do a full review on Zorin. So this is a very nice and easy to use Linux operating system that I found, because if you're moving from a Windows perspective, you will discover that it allows you to install Windows applications. It allows you to have a mobile app which is fully integrated to your phone, your Android phone. So meaning you can have an app on your phone. Every time you receive notifications will pop up on your screen on the laptop or desktop, whichever PC you are using. Then also, apart from it having a mobile app, it being user friendly, it being fast, and also it having a wide range of libraries for softwares, and it having pre-installed drivers for your NVIDIA graphics card and AMD. It is also good for gaming, and also you have like a wide range of things that you can do on Zorin. So if you visited their site, you'll see you've got the app which we are going to talk about. You've got it being compatible with a lot of Windows applications, and you have it to be one of the fastest operating systems that you can get as a Linux user. Okay, so we are going to dive into like how you customize it and how other things work. And as you can see right here, I've also downloaded something like AnyDesk. This is just a normal exe file, as you can see from here, .exe. So I'm going to show you certain things that you can do with actual Zorin to make sure that you have a good experience, because this was mainly meant for people who are moving from Windows to Linux. Okay, so let me make your experience the best. So one of the things is this panel right here, which is a taskbar. This is not always like that. You've got three options on Zorin. So the way you can do it, the same way you do it on Windows, you just right click on the taskbar. Then we want to change taskbar settings, but for now those four options are found on Zorin appearance. So when you click that, you will discover you have got these three. So this is a default layout usually, as you can see the way it is right now. So you've got your start icon there, and you've got this type of layout, as you can see. So this is also one of the nice ones, or you can choose something like this, which will appear in form of that. Then you've got this other option, which is the one I was using. Then also you've got this other type, as you can see the way it is right now. So these are just some of the options, as you can see, that you have. So for me personally, I prefer having this one with a centered icon like that. Then you go to theme. Here you can choose which theme you prefer. As you know, a lot of people prefer dark mode, so I can tick dark mode, and as you can see, my system will be in dark mode, of which I prefer dark mode. Or you can choose any other color of your choice that you want. Okay, then you got others, and then you can choose all these things as well. Okay, under interface, and just as a side note, this is also based off of the Ubuntu version, so meaning you've got a wide range of applications that are supported. You've got good environment where you can ask questions if you run into any issues. Okay, so also you got desktop. So here we can also customize what we want to see on our desktop. So I don't want to see the trash, I can just remove it like that. So that's one of the things. And also icon size, you can choose whichever you prefer. Font as well, you can also play with the font depending on whatever you want. Okay, then now you've seen mine looks slightly transparent. That is because I right click. Now you can go to taskbar settings. So this is where now you can customize how you want it. So this panel intelligently hide. So if that is ticked, if any time there's like something like this at the bottom, which when it hits this panel, it will hide it. So meaning only when something is overlapping here, that's when it will hide the actual panel. Then also here under opacity, this is where now you can choose how do you want the opacity to be. So if you see, if I increase it to like a solid 100, this is like pure solid color. But the more I start reducing the number, as you can see, we can get to see the background. Okay, so I usually leave it like at 70, it's fine. So that's just part of it. And then you can choose the position of where everything goes, as well as the behavior of everything. So preview on hover. So if I tick that, meaning if I do this, you will see to bring these previews for me to see what is actually running at that point. That is also one of the handy too. And also under actions as well, as you can see, you've got these settings as well. Okay, so that's just part of the basic customizing of the taskbar. And also now you've got these useful icons, of which those are your quick settings. So if you click the quick settings, you have this menu. So as you can see, this is connected to my phone. I'll show you about the app. So this is because of the app, so like my phone and my PC are communicating, so we'll talk about that later into the video. Okay, so then we can go on our menu here. As you can see, it is very fast and responsive, and this is just one of the looks that you have. As you can see, it even has maps, which is Google Maps. You've got Chrome and all these other supported softwares, because it has got a wide range of softwares that you can run on it. So here, when you go on the software, you've got this big library that you can use literally for almost anything that you're looking for. You've got alternatives for almost everything, and also, just as a side note, you can also run Windows applications on this distribution. So we're going to look at that also as well. So as you can see, depending on what you want, you can just click maybe the category that you want, then based off of that category to give you what it has. Okay, so my internet connection is just a bit slower, but you would see all these applications that it offers. So I'll just go back. So these are just some of the applications, but you've got a lot of applications that you can run on Zorin OS. So apart from that, as I mentioned earlier, I had downloaded this AnyDesk, and it's an EXIF. So what I like about Zorin is they've implemented this nice cool feature, of which if, for example, I double click any ISO, it will tell me, it knows that this is a Windows application, like it has highlighted that's a Windows application. But what it has done is this: it has said there's AnyDesk on the store, like there's a native applications for AnyDesk. So I can simply say install AnyDesk, so this way is going to install AnyDesk natively. Otherwise, if I say run anyway, it will run the exe itself. Okay, so meaning it knows that that's a Windows application, and also it works well with most of, like, almost all the Windows applications out there, making it easy for you to run any applications while you move from Windows to Linux. So as you can see, it's doing some configurations with Wine so that it can install this application right here that I'm trying to run. So that's one of the cool things that you have in most of the Linux distributions don't have. So I'll just move this to the far end like that. Okay, so apart from that, as we saw, the speed is very good. We can look at something like settings. So I can click the quick settings here and go to settings itself. So once you are by settings, you'll notice that you've got things similar to most of the Linux distributions, and also if you've played around with Windows, you will discover that this also looks similar, because you've got your background, and that is very straightforward as well. It's just a matter of clicking the one you like. So for example, if I'm interested in this one, I can just click on it, and then it changes my background, as you can see. So notifications, I can also choose which applications can show me notifications and which ones cannot. And then under accounts, you can also link your Google account. You've got your Nextcloud account. So as you can see right now, the Wine setup is done. As you can see, it's asking me if I want to install the AnyDesk. As you can see, it's working perfectly, 100%, and this is on Linux, running on the exe itself. So I'm just going to close this because I don't want to install it for now. Okay, so I'll just say, would you like to install AnyDesk? No. Okay, so apart from these are some of the accounts you can link to this operating system. And also under sound, you've got a lot of things you can do. You can adjust. So I can adjust the sound of the video recorder that I'm using right now, or I can do it from here as well. As you can see, by clicking the quick settings, I can adjust my brightness from there, and also I can increase my volume and my mic volume from there as well, from the quick settings, which is a good thing. And also under power settings, you can play with it as well. As you can see, it's telling me I've got this amount of time left on my battery, and I can increase my brightness from the slider, or I can do it from the quick settings as I showed you. Then also dim screen when inactive, it will do that to save your battery. And then here you can set it when you want it to have like a black screen, or if you don't want it to sleep, you can set it to never, like that. Auto suspend when battery is on power. You can change these settings really depending on your preference. Okay, so here to also switch off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but if you don't want that, you want to make sure you untick those two, so that maybe you always want it to be connected to your Wi-Fi, so you don't want it to disconnect. You can do that. You can just switch these on or switch them off depending on your preference as well. Show battery percentage, that will just show it right there. So if you see, if I do that, it's not there. Then if I do that, it's there. Okay, so that's just part of it. And also under display, here I can select like what is my res and what is the refresh rate that is going to be running on. Then also, if you have like multiple screens, once it detects that you have got multiple screens, it will give you a provision of switching, like aligning the screens the way they are aligned physically, so that when you move your mouse to the right, the screen is really to the right and not to the left. Then these are just some of the quick settings you can go through you yourself, but under default applications, this is the same thing on Windows, that you would say your preferred apps, like what are the apps that you want to be using. Let's say if you say open a browser, or maybe it wants to open a link, which browser is it going to use by default? So here, this is where you choose your preferences of what you need to get, what you want to use depending on what you have. For example, for music, I would like to use VLC. For videos, I would also want to use VLC because it supports a wide range of video format that a lot of players don't support. So VLC is one of the best tools that you should have as well, because it won't give you any issues with playing any sounds at all. So that's just some of the things that you need to take into account when switching to Zorin, because it is very nice and handy, as you can see. So I want to do a quick demonstration of the app itself. So I want to show you how the app would display notifications if someone was to send you a notification. So I'm going to quickly send myself a WhatsApp, so that you see how it would show on your screen. Let's say if you don't have your phone but you have your PC with you. So I'm going to just send myself some random thing, like let's say 2022 0202 for example. Just as an example for our tutorial, and then I'll send it to my WhatsApp. So as you can see here, it has appeared and it's showing me that this message is coming from WhatsApp itself. So meaning I can even click on it if I want to, and I can reply to the message. For example, WhatsApp, like that, WhatsApp, then I can just click send, and that will send that message to the person who has sent the message to me. So meaning if I close this and then that person replies again, let's say 005 00200, for example, they send me a message again, I will be able to see it from my desktop here. So it will give me a prompt saying that's a message. And also it is very nice because it's not every time that you have your phone with you, so the app makes it very easy for you to respond to certain messages without you touching your phone. And also you can also use your phone itself as a trackpad, so you can use it to move your case around, and it will act the same way a wireless mouse would. So that's also one of the benefits of storing Zorin. And because as you can see, if I open up a terminal, and that's like one of the things as a Linux user you would use sometimes to install applications apart from using the store itself. Even if the store has like a wide range of applications, you can still use the terminal itself to do whatever you want. So for example, if I wanted to use a tool like this, like NeoFetch, this is just something that helps you to find out what are some of the specs for the actual computer that you are using. So for example, since it's not installed, it has given me an option to install the application. So I would put in my password like that, and then just press enter, and that should start installing that application. And it's a very small application, it doesn't take up resources or anything, so it's going to just quickly install, and I'm going to show you how it would display on a terminal. So I'll make this full screen so that you see what I'm seeing. Now to run our application, we just need to type in the same command that we had typed in neofetch and press enter. And as you can see, it will just give you a quick breakdown of what are the system specs. So in case you need system specs, so as you can see, I'm running Zorin. That's the latest Zorin release, which is 16.2, and also that's the laptop that I'm using, and this is a kernel version that we're using right now. And as you can see, my uptime, it's even showing me my uptime, packages and my flag packs. I can see that I'm using my shell, I'm using bash, and that's a raise for the laptop, and we're using genome, as you can see. And also it even knows the theme we're using, which is dark mode. And also you've just got like some specs or the CPU type, as you can see. So you can even see what is the CPU type in case you want to check it out, to review what are the full things, PC, and you've also got your memory right there. So that's just some of the things I would use. And also, if we try to check about the processes, since I'm only running Firefox in the store itself with this screen recorder that I'm using to record the video. So if we check our manager right now, okay, so one of the cool things I can do here is search, and then if I type in task, as you can see, you get this system monitor. So it's like they also know we are using task manager, so they know when you type in task, they know like something has to do with the system monitoring too. Okay, so if we make this big, okay, and then we see how we are using resources, so we can see that, as you can see, most of these we can see from the graph, that's 100% right there. And also memory, as you can see, we've got our actual memory and our swap. As you can see, all these are running below 60% with these applications running, okay. And as you can see, the way the graph is on the CPU is currently constant, it's not under heavy load or anything, so the PC is 100% fine. So as you can see, this is a quad core processor, so it's showing you how the cores are performing. So as you can see, it is a very nice and lightweight operating system. And also, if you have a very old PC, then you need to download the Zorin Lite edition. So that is that's an improved version, because it being light and also it being worked on in terms of performance, you will see that it will revive your old PC and it will be back to life as well. So you shouldn't find any issues at all working with Zorin, because this is exactly it's just like a copy of Windows itself, but it's just that it is implemented in a different way. So this is just some of the things you would do with Zorin. So if you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss the next time I release a new video, because we'll be going into depth of how to install it and how to set up certain things so that you have got the best experience. So don't forget to leave a like and also comment below what you want me to show you next and which operating system you want me to review. So see you in the next video.